Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start off. So if you wanna, for those who don't know you or might watch this video, if you wanna tell them a little bit about your ministry.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. I'm sorry I missed this morning's appointment. I got tied up on other stuff. But my name's Kent Hovind. I've been a high school science teacher 15 years. I've been a Baptist preacher for 48 years. And I believe the Bible is true, and evolution is not only stupid, it's dangerous. It's a dumb religion. So someone gave us property here in Lenox, Alabama, straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles. And we are teaching. We have a science center, a museum, a theme park. It's all free, 20 cabins to stay in. Come on down, see the place. And we teach about science in the Bible. God made the world in 6 days. The Bible says clearly he made everything in 6 days. So we believe that's true. I'm doing my debate tonight with that guy. Okay. So, yeah, we have a science center, a museum. All kinds of visitors come here. We want to get people saved, to get them baptized, and get them busy serving the Lord. Okay?
Okay, thank you. And so I'm going to go on to the first question. And this one isn't really anything to do with the other questions. This one was just because it's almost Halloween. And this one is probably a lot of Christians should know is, so the first question is, should Christians celebrate Halloween? So what do you think?
Do Christians what now?
Should Christians celebrate Halloween? Do you think?
Halloween is no question. It's a pagan holiday. I think Christians get off track fighting the wrong. It doesn't matter, you know. If your car engine's about to blow up and somebody's complaining, oh, wow, the back fender is scratched, forget it. The car engine's about to blow up. There's a more important problem. So I don't celebrate Halloween, but it's not a battle I want to fight. I think there's much bigger, more important battles to worry about. I wouldn't devote a whole ministry to fighting Halloween, you know. Now, fighting evolution, yes. Okay?
Okay. All right, so for the next question, this one's commonly asked a lot. Who created God?
Well, by definition, God has to be uncreated. See, the question, who created God? The word created, as the ed on the end, that assumes a past tense. That means God had to have a beginning. What if God had no beginning? He just is. He's eternal. See, we're stuck in time. It's 2022, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, we're stuck. It's September, and there's nothing you can do about that. You ever wished you could go back in time just 5 minutes to undo the dumb thing you just did? Yeah, okay. Well, we can't go forward or backward in time. We're stuck. God, at least the God that I worship, the God of the Bible, is not stuck in time. He's not limited by time, space, or matter. He had no creator. He is the creator of everything. He actually created time for us to live in. He doesn't live in time. We do. He created earth for us to live on. God is everywhere at the same time. So he is right now standing at your funeral. And right now, standing at George Washington's inauguration. He can see all time at the same time. Now, my brain can't handle that, but the Bible teaches that he is the eternal one. When Moses said, God, who should I tell the people sent me? God's answer was, I am that I am. I don't think that'll fit in the human brain, but that was his answer. He just is eternal. So he had no creator, no beginning, no end. We try to put our human limitations, time, space, matter, on God. He don't have any of those limitations. Okay?
Okay. Actually, I watched your video on, what was it, 3-on-1?
Yeah.
That was, I was going to link that in the description for another one of those answers. All right, so the third question, what is some of the best evidence for a young Earth?
Well, I have a whole video series on that, seminar part 1, here somewhere on my desk, if I can find it. No, I gave it away. There are, people claim the Earth is billions of years old, and the Bible dates, if you add up the dates in the Bible, it says Adam was 130 when Seth was born, and Seth was 105 when his son was born. You go through Genesis chapter 5 and you add up the dates. It's easy enough to do. It'll take you all the way up to Genesis 5, and Genesis 11 will take you up to the time of Joseph in Egypt. And we know that his name was some kind of, I forget his name now, but an Egyptian. we know the historical dates back to there. So if you add up the biblical dates and the known history dates, it's about the Earth. Bible teaches the Earth is about 6,000 years old, so 4,000 BC. Now that's the Bible. I think the best evidence for a young Earth, if you want to call 6,000 young, I'd call 6,000 pretty old, you know. But but it's hard to remember 20 years ago, let alone 6,000. So, but
I think your screen just glitched out. Almost. Let me see. Can you hear me? Oh, he's gone. Yeah. Give that a minute. It's all really great. Must have got kicked off. Oh yeah.
there we go.
Oh, it looks like you glitched out for a second there.
Mine is frozen. No, I'm moving. Okay. Somebody stay in here, though. Something always goes wrong. Okay. Okay. Your question, young Earth, 6,000 is not young, first of all. Okay. It's a long time. Everything we see in the world can be accomplished in 6,000 years. If you include one big flood, all the layers of rock that we see in Grand Canyon, all formed in one big flood. You can take these little things made out of three different colors of sand, flip them over, you know, and make 20 or 30 layers in 2 minutes. So I don't think we need billions of years to explain anything scientific about this planet. It's all best explained by what we call a recent creation 6,000 years ago and a giant flood that destroyed everything and made all the fossils. So the best evidence would be the Bible clearly teaches 6,000. Jesus said nothing died until Adam sinned. Matthew 19:4, Mark 10:6. Well, Jesus' testimony ought to be good enough. It is for me, ought to be good enough for some people. Say, wow, he said nothing died. Jesus said, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? So if that was the beginning when Adam and Eve were made, well, then the case is closed. That's the scriptural evidence is 6,000. Now, scientifically, there are all kinds of ways you can show scientifically it cannot be billions of years old. If I said, Sutter, when was this ink pen made? And you said that ink pen was made 9,000 years ago. I think I could prove you're wrong. I don't know when it was made, but it's not 9,000. It's got some advertising on here from Monroeville, Alabama, a restaurant. Well, Monroeville, Alabama wasn't even a town until 200 years ago. So just that bit of information proves this pen is less than 200 years old because it mentions a city that did not exist 200 years ago. Okay, so you can go through step by step and find different ways. Hey, it contains plastics and they weren't invented until after World War II. Oh, well, that proves it's less than 80 years old. One by one, I think I could narrow down. This pen was probably made in the last 50 years, not thousands of years ago. And I think there's ways to scientifically narrow down the age of the Earth without referring to the Bible. For instance, the moon is going around the Earth, but the moon's gradually getting further away. Okay. Well, that means it used to be closer. How much closer can you bring it before you start to create problems? Because the moon pulls our water up and makes a bump called the high tide. You guys are going to hear about the high tide when that storm hits you in a couple of days. So the tide can become a real problem. If the moon were closer, the tide would be higher and it would destroy everything on Earth. So I think just with that one fact, the moon is leaving us about 1.5 inches a year. If you run the math backwards, you say, wow, 1 billion years ago, the orbit would collapse. The gravitational pull of the Earth and the moon, the closer you get, the stronger the pull gets. It's called the inverse square law. If you brought the moon into 1/2 the distance, you take that fraction 1/2, flip it over, and square it. It's now 4 times the pull. You would think if you brought it in close half the distance, it'd be twice as strong. Oh no, it's 4 times stronger, the gravitational pull, called the inverse square law. Anyway, they've done all the math on this and said 1 billion years ago, the moon could not orbit the Earth. It snapped together like 2 magnets. If you bring two magnets close together, all of a sudden they snap, because you can't hold it apart. The moon receding is a great evidence that it's not billions of years old. Now, that doesn't give us 6,000, but it limits it down to 1 billion max. And that still leaves the question open, where'd the moon come from? Who gave the moon the energy to go around the Earth? Where'd the Earth come from? Another scientific indicator like that would be the spin of the Earth. The Earth is spinning. I think we all agree with that, except for some flat earthers. They're nuts, okay? The Earth is spinning. It is slowing down. Number one, it ought to be slowing down. Any spinning object slows down. It slows down from the tide going up and down, called tidal friction on the surface of the planet. Because of its spin, it makes the wind blow on the Earth, called the Coriolis effect. The wind blowing against the mountains makes the Earth slow down a little bit. The inside is liquid, so we have a solid crust. If you were spinning a ball full of water or liquid, the liquid has a rubbing against the underside of the hard part, the crust. So you have the subsurface, subcrustal friction. You have the tidal friction on the Earth. You have the lunar drag, the moon pulling on the Earth, creating a drag. There's 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7 different factors that are making the Earth slow down. This is all scientifically known. There's no question about it. Yes, the Earth is slowing down. Well, then that means it used to be going faster. Hello? No, right? How much farther back, how far back in time could you go adding spin to the Earth? It'd be imagination. We'd have to imagine this. But if you went back in time and added more spin, pretty soon you have a problem. If the Earth were spinning real fast, it would flatten out like a Frisbee. It would not be a ball. It's already bulged out at the equator a little bit. I think from across the equator, the Earth is, I think, maybe 20 miles more than it is from North Pole to South Pole. Because of the spin, it is squishing a little bit flat, minor. So the spin of the Earth is an indicator. The moon receding is an indicator. The sun is burning up. Go look at it. It's burning 5 million tons of fuel every second. Well, that means the sun is getting smaller, which it is, and it's losing weight, which it is. It's burning up its fuel and sending it off as energy all around the solar system. Well, if the sun is losing weight, that means it used to be heavier. How far back in time can you go making the sun heavier at 5 million tons a second? If you added 5 million tons every second to the sun, go back in time, pretty soon the sun's gravity is going to be much stronger and start sucking the planets in. You cannot say the Earth has been going around this sun for billions of years while the sun is losing weight and losing diameter. It's shrinking. So I think those are indicators it's not billions of years old. Now, some people need billions of years to make their theory look good. I'm sorry, they need to get a new theory. There are lots. I cover about 30 more on my video number 1, Creation Seminar Part 1, called The Age of the Earth. Matt, make a note. I need a new set in here to show people on screen. I gave it away.